The author Shu Reiner said, "All the best ideas are simple and brilliant." This was very true for the famous ancient Greek mathematician Euclid of Alexandria. He is known as the father of geometry. Euclid wrote a very popular book called The Elements that was used in schools for over 2,000 years and well into the 20th century. That gives you an idea of how far ahead of his time he was. Euclid found that the shortest distance between 2 points was a straight line. Euclid is pictured here along with many other famous mathematicians, astronomers, and philosophers. The painting is called the School of Athens, and it was painted by Raphael during the Renaissance in Italy. It shows Euclid in the bottom right corner. Geometry was important back then when it was a new topic that was introduced. Today, we continue to ask the question, why is geometry important in our lives? Without geometry, things wouldn't rotate. What is rotation? The act or process of turning around a center or an axis. Without things being able to rotate, there would be no doorknobs, car tires, locks, and most important, the earth would not spin on its axis. So it's fair to say that rotation are very important today. While we're on the topic, the earth of geometry is a very important part of nature as well. Architects try to bring nature inside the space they are building or make it a part of nature. For example, Flowing Water is a house designed by famous architect Frank Lloyd Wright that is located about 70 miles from Pittsburgh or in southwest Pennsylvania. This building is a remarkable example of geometry and nature working hand in hand. Have you ever seen a blueprint before? Well, if you have, it is amazing to see what the design of the building looks like and then seeing the finished product. What an incredible transformation. What is a transformation, you may ask? It is the act or instance of transforming. Transformations are used in geometry to show a change in shape, whether it's the size that's being changed or just a shape being flipped around. Architects need to use transformation to design things like schools and shops. If we didn't have transformations, nothing could be built. Some examples of things being transformed are blueprints being turned into buildings, a seed growing into a flower, a child turning into an adult, or a caterpillar turning into a beautiful butterfly. These are just some examples of how we see transformation in our everyday lives. Dilations are also very important. What exactly is a dilation? A dilation is the act of expanding or enlarging something. An example of something getting progressively larger is when you are baking cookies and you want to make more than the recipe calls for, so you double all the ingredients. Dilations are everywhere in your everyday life, like stretching a rubber band to make it bigger or simply enlarging an image. Dilations are important in real life because it is helpful as a tool when you're going to build something, because you are taking your original ideas or a sketch and making it bigger than the paper. An example of dilation in nature are your pupils dilating when you are exposed to light. When you wake up every morning and see yourself staring back at you in the mirror, you are seeing a reflection. So what is a reflection? The act of reflecting or the state of being reflected. You also see reflections very frequently in geometry. Even just flipping something, like an image, is a reflection. In geometry, shapes can be flipped. If the shapes are symmetrical, they will look the same when reflected.
Geometry was pretty much invented by an ancient Greek mathematician named Euclid. Geometry itself is very important and includes many different parts like rotation, which without it things wouldn't move like clocks or the earth. Transformations include things like a seed turning into a beautiful flower or a blueprint turning into a building. Dilations make things like blowing up a balloon possible. Reflections allow you to see yourself from different perspectives. So there you have it. Geometry is everywhere even though you may not notice or think about it. Like, you need air. You need it to breathe, which you need to live. Even though you may not notice or see air, it is always there. Geometry is a crucial part of our lives. So for that we say thank you Euclid, for enlightening us on the idea of geometry.